This is Stamina MC, and you're watching the D&B Diaries. Stay tuned to this channel for an insight into the workings of drum and bass from players in the scene, both old and new. Stay right here.
I'd say the role of an MC is to host a set and enhance it rather than taking over and just babbling a load of nonsense.
A good MC is a host, don't really talk over the tunes, let the tune breathe, and works with the crowd, works with obviously myself when I'm mixing, so that's a good MC.
For me personally, I love it for a club or a rave or whatever, because I think it's a really important part of connecting the music with the crowd. It's a real important thing. I find a lot of the time there's a kind of promoter that kind of prides themselves on not having an MC, and to me I think it's a bit of a shame because you miss out on quite an important element.
For me, what Codebreaker is on one of my sets, this is how this is just on his behalf as well. I don't really know what it is on everyone's, but when I've got Codebreaker on a set with me, it's like when I feel like the energy starts to drop in the music, because certain 16s aren't as energetic and stuff like that, he will come in and pick that energy back up and just hold the set together. Do you know what I mean? He won't let the set lose any energy. Above that, one of the cleverest guys I know says words that I don't understand.
In my opinion, the role of an MC is to complement the music and to transfer energy between the DJ and the music and the crowd, and then transfer the energy back from the crowd to the DJ. I'm just sat in the middle. I'm kind of like a conduit really for energy. If the energy's good from the DJ and from the crowd, then that energy will start to multiply as it flows backwards and forwards and grows and grows.
Definitely. I mean, you look at the early 90s, the kind of like hardcore jungle transitional phase, and you'd have cats like GQ and MCMC and other cats. Actually, there aren't a lot of them. Maybe I don't know, Man Paris or someone like that. And they would be the only MC for the entire night. And it wasn't really a thing of them having to stand up there and spit bars and rare-tear-tear. They would literally just be hosting. Just make sure everyone's all right. Horns crew, whistle crew, make noise, blah, blah, blah. Who wants to rewind? Feeling all right. Next DJ, last one, and so on and so forth. They weren't really, there wasn't really a lot required of them. They were just there to give a voice to the proceedings.
I think the definitions of MCs have changed, and the definitions of styles, and some MCs sing now and some MCs kind of half rap, but at the end of the day that's good, because the more styles and variations the better. I think it'd be good to change them. The more times we redefine it the better, as far as I'm concerned.
More MCs on the bill, and they would be given more like designated sets, and it become a thing where DJs would work with specific MCs and they would travel together and develop their own kind of repertoire, so that they become something of a double act, as it were, to the point where you know, however many years ago it was now, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago, you know, the MC thing went even further forward to the point where you had like Battle of the MCs and MC Convention and whatnot, where the MCs would actually take, you know, center stage, as it were. You'd see the lineup on a flyer, and there'd be like, you know, 27 MCs and about 8 DJs on the flyer and stuff like that. And, you know, it would just be about them. You know, that was appealing to a large number of people because those events were massively successful.
When I first got into drum and bass, you know, honestly, the first thing I looked at were the MCs and the tape backs and this sort of stuff. And it was all very kind of double time and quick, and for me it was all about the MC. But now it's a lot more, you know, as you grow into it and you realise it's a lot more about the music. I think a lot of people have realised that, and it's more about hosting rather than them being the feature, you know, the main thing on the bill, I guess.
I mean, you have had obviously the influence of, say, you know, the people kind of doing the whole MC conventions thing. That's a whole different thing, but you know, they do it really well. It's maybe not my kind of MCing, but I think it's, you know, it's got its place, and it's just as valid as, you know, the kind of MC I like to work with. And you know, I mean, someone like Skibbity, you know, no one can quite beat him. I mean, you can understand him, and he's talking really fast. That's an art form in itself. Do you know what I mean? But for me, I like an MC who's more like a host, and you know, I like an MC that wants to be. I'm trying to turn the MC on as well with my mixes, and you know, I might show the MC a track that I know they've been talking about earlier and play it for them, so that they can take that time and not speak. You know, that's my favourite MC, who's just so excited by the mix, he doesn't want to speak, he just wants to listen for a bit. Do you know what I mean? And that's to me is a great MC. But different, I still respect the other kind of MCs, you know, I mean, you know, my MC on Pirate Radio when I was doing Defection FM, obviously first it was Goldie, but when Goldie got really busy, you know, my first MC there was Shabba. So when I work with Shabba, you see, and I think that's the thing, people underestimate and pigeonhole MCs just as much as they pigeonhole DJs. I mean, that young man can turn himself to any style he wants, you know, but he chooses to do what he chooses to do, and I don't think people should knock an MC for whichever genre they go with, because I think all the good MCs can MC over any style of drum and bass.